today we're making peanut butter rolls. These are the best peanut butter rolls. They are 5-star. Hey y'all, so we're using different measuring cups, not the kind you can buy at Walmart. We're gonna be using our kind of measuring cups, which are these white cups here. Some people like to even use these big kind of measuring cups. The smaller the measuring cup, obviously the less peanut butter rolls it'll give. So each to their own. All right, y'all, so let's get started with this recipe. My mom's gonna be pouring it in there as we go. So for this recipe, let's go ahead and pour 3 cups of warm water and softened butter, half a cup of softened butter, half a cup of cooking oil, 1 teaspoon salt, half a cup of sugar, and 4 eggs. You're also going to need 2 tablespoons of yeast and 1 tablespoon of baking powder. But let's first go ahead and put the flour in there. We do not measure the flour, we just do it to the consistency which we like it. So you can go ahead and try the recipe, and I'm gonna further along show you exactly how the mixture is gonna look in the stand mixture once it's all mixed up. So you can go by that. We're adding the yeast and baking powder. So this is what you're wanting the dough to look like. We're done with the dough now like this. It has a very nice consistency. This is how soft you want it to be. Just kind of press down on the dough. You want a little bit of a bounce back. And that's it. That's the dough. And it's looking really good. Get some cooking oil. Rub a big bowl with cooking oil so your dough is not going to get stuck onto the sides once you're going to take it out and want to roll it out later. And we're just going to go ahead and dump that dough into the bowl to let it rise. Pound it down a bit in the bowl, and as you can see how my mom's hands are how she's kneading it in there, the consistency, what it's giving, kind of bouncing back, and as she presses it, that's what you're looking for, and that's when you know you've gotten just great dough. So that's what we're looking for. Now go ahead and stir it up really good. The smell of this is unbelievable. It is just delicious. So it's been 30 minutes with our dough. Just go ahead and knead it once and then close it back up and wait another 30 minutes for it to rise. So go ahead and just dump the dough onto the table, and we're using half the dough at once. And if this is maybe your first time doing it, then I would maybe recommend doing a smaller piece for the first time. It'd be a little bit easier to work with the dough to roll it out. And if not, then just go ahead and use half the dough and start rolling it out. And for peanut butter rolls, to make it go a little bit faster, try to get a long piece, not such a wide piece. Then your peanut butter rolls won't become very thick, and then more likely you'll have uneven amounts of peanut butter in between, and just it would take longer to roll it up overall. And if you find that your dough is sticking onto the table, just dust some more flour onto the table and roll it out until you are satisfied. As you can see, it doesn't have to be perfect. And this is the thickness of the dough we're going to leave it at. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to start putting our filling into it. So if it's already been a while that your filling has stood on the table, then you might find that it's a little thick. Just go ahead and put it in the microwave for a bit, because you'll find it way easier to spread it evenly onto the dough if it's microwaved. And we used creamy peanut butter when we did this, but usually we use peanut butter with the chunks in it. We like it way more like that, but everybody to their own, however each person likes it. And then just try to get an even amount all around. And that's what it's looking like. And I love these peanut butter rolls. I really hope you guys enjoy this recipe. And then we're just going to go ahead and start rolling it up. And just start at the end. That part usually takes a little bit longer. After a while, you get a hang of it, and then it goes faster. And in the beginning, it looks a little wobbly and not so perfect, but in the end, it just all comes together. So don't be discouraged if it's not looking right. Don't worry about it. My mom says as long as it tastes good. So that's all. And then on the top here, just we're pinching it together a little bit so it stays there nicely. And that's your big peanut butter roll. And if you have decided to do a smaller piece of dough, then obviously then it's not going to be as long. And then we're just going to go ahead and move it over a little bit, so we're going to have room to put a baking sheet at the end, and so we can start cutting it up. If you have a very nice sharp knife, you will be able to tell that you can just cut the peanut butter rolls way better. It gives a nice clean cut. And we are cutting them from 1 inch to about 1.5 inches in height. If you cut them too low, that they're not going to be wide enough, they end up not looking as nice. So that is a key that you're maybe going to want to look at. Voila, this is what they're gonna look like. Everybody probably knows their stove the best. If they need to turn it up a bit or turn down the heat a bit, then go ahead and try that out. Bake the first round and then go from there. Maybe you need to do it a little bit hotter, a little bit cooler in your stove, but that's what we found worked for us. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe, and thank you very much for watching. Y'all have a very blessed day.